Hey guys, Andy here with day 19. Wow. I say wow a lot when I start videos now. I don't know why. I just do. Today, today's kind of like, I'm going to use today's reflection of this year and kind of just give you guys like an influence of how I felt my year's gone, how I felt things have worked, stuff like that. And basically just so you guys can kind of get a grip of like what this year's been like for me. I mean, it's a roller coaster, and there's been great heights and there's been great weaknesses. I mean, go all the way back to the start of this year. I mean, I know this year's not over quite yet, but I'm using what like so far as a reflection of my year. I mean, I started this year in a McDonald's car park, surrounded by people who I love and I adore, and I genuinely like care about. And it was I just remember sitting there like thinking about how lucky I was while people were throwing chicken nuggets in and out of cars. Don't ask. We started a chicken nugget fight. It was hilarious. We almost got kicked out of the car park, which is weird when you consider just how big of the car park there was. But yeah, we almost got kicked out of the whole thing just because of the fact that we were like lobbing McDonald's chicken nuggets at each other. And I remember just sitting there and I was like, this is going to be so different to what I'm used to. I mean, it's a whole different year, and I know that doesn't sound much because we lived through like 60 to 80 of them ourselves, but it really dawned on me that this is completely different to everything. I mean, in a weird kind of, I mean, I turned 29 this year, and in the weirdest abstract way of like self-philosophizing, this has probably been like the year of new promises, the year of me being me. I mean, I vowed off dating girls permanently. I mean, because I'm not going to live my life. I mean, I made some promises to myself this year. I'm going to live my life for me. I'm going to live my life the way I want to. I'm going to live the life I deserve. And it's not always been healthy for me, and it's not always been great for me. It's kind of, up and down. But this year was the first year where I kind of looked back and I realised my life is mine. I turn 30 next year, and only for the last, 4 years, I've actually realised that I've been in full control. And it was really amazing and yet really dumbfounding to discover that. Sort of, no, my life is mine, I may live with my parents and have to explain to them what's going on, but my life is very much my own now. I'm in charge of everything. I'm in charge of my destiny. I'm in charge of what I want to do in my life. And this year there have been so many opportunities to push that. I mean, I've seen 4 of my favourite bands in history live this year, which is crazy considering that, like, last year I barely saw him. Last year I think no, not even last year. Year before last I saw Imagine Dragons, and that was about it. And it's not just me who, I've discovered has changed this one. I mean, my brother got married this year. How the hell do you deal with that? My brother, who is 22, with 23 next May, and will be married for nearly a year by the time he turns 23. And that was insane. And I hated it coming up. When we were talking about the wedding, real terms of suits and stuff like that, I could literally feel myself growing to hate every day of existence. Every day, I hated and resented every day for passing, because every day was a closer day that I thought I was going to lose my brother. I truly thought him getting married was going to be the end of our friendship, because I wouldn't see him as much, and I don't see him as much as I used to, and I don't see him as much as I'd like to. I mean, I still see him, but it's nowhere near what it's like. Not like 2 years ago when he was down 2 or 3 times a week. He's down once a week, which is still really, really cool. And a lot of people would still consider that to be a real commitment and a real kind of gravitas to our friendship. because he's my brother, but he's my oldest and my best friend. I have known him, well, obviously I've known him all his life. He's my little brother. And we've had some real fights, and we've had some real, like, people were looking at us and like, is this even going to happen anymore? Are they even still going to be able to talk to each other? And yet, the two of us are still inseparable. The two of us still play off each other's strengths and weaknesses, and it's amazing. And he's become so... I'll say this for him getting married. He's become so much more grounded and so much more, like, focused on what he wants to do with life. And I love it. I love seeing this responsible side of it. I mean, sure, he comes over during the week and he's still childish. You know, he's still immature. He's still a big kid. And yet, he's this grown man. Oh, I think I just rolled my bed. Whoops. He's this grown man who's, like, going places and doing stuff and, like... And yet I still look at him and still see my little baby brother. And it's weird, you know? But, you know, I've grown to see the marriage. I've grown to see the wedding as a good thing. And I'm happy that he's found someone who makes him happy. Now it's my turn. Maybe next year. Maybe next year I'll find someone. You know? And it's like college lot, the film group, film studies group. We went on our first holiday without Niki. And it was great. Everyone was laughing, literally start to finish. Everyone was laughing, everyone was joking, everyone was having fun. You know, genuinely, it felt nice. It felt good. And there's a little twinge in me that's like, how can you say that? With, like, Niki bought some, and it's sort of, she did. But she also brought a lot of pain and a lot of problems to the group. You know. And there's always a part of me that's always going to weirdly hold out because she's like the last girlfriend I'm ever going to have. And I mean that. And I'm like, I still want her to come back. But then there are times where it's like, no, I don't. I really don't. Because, like, everything's changed in the group now. You know, she wouldn't have a place. The group, like, the dynamic is so different, you know? Everyone gets along better. Everyone's happier. Everyone does more. And, you know, we meet up more. We talk more. We do stuff. We go out for dinner. We go to the seafront. Because I live, like, literally about a 15-minute drive from a seaside town. You know? And we do all of that stuff. Shut up. And we do all of that stuff. And it's really fun. And it's really cool. And it's really amazing. And we do it so much more. And we have so much more fun doing it now. I mean, we can talk about subject and the conversation, by God. We could talk about things that, like, we never thought we'd be able to, and we never thought could not discuss because of certain people hanging around the group or certain people. And we can talk about those conversations that people would shrink from, run away, hide, be scared to even mention or talk about. And we can talk about those now. I mean, my very, like, foundation of friendships is completely different. I mean, I have a friend who I've known for 13 years, and I spent the last year and a half away from him because of the fact that there was, like, Niki didn't get along with him. Like, Niki had a problem with him. Niki had a problem with a lot of people, but Niki really had a problem with him. And, like, people were disapproving of me, like, being in contact with him and, like, talking with him and stuff like that. And yet he's here, and yet we've come back. I mean, I don't talk so about him in front of my sister because him and my sister don't have a great relationship. I don't do that. I don't talk about that. I just talk about us and him and me and everything like that. And he's come back, and it's sort of friends who I just kind of ditched and were like, no, I've got a new crowd now. You know, I came back pretty much broken on his doorstep, and he was like, you know what, come in, have a coffee, we'll chat, we'll shoot everything. Like, we'll shoot the breeze. We'll just, and it's sort of to have that go from, like, last year to nothing to this year where it's weekly visits, and I'll go over and we'll sit up, and, like, he's not a particularly early bird kind of person, but I'll get there for 12 and like I won't leave till 1 o'clock the following morning. You know, I get there for noon and like I'm there for 13 hours playing video games, eating probably the worst food we could ever eat and stuff like that, and it's nice and it works and it's fun. And that's the life I'm living this year. That's the life I have lived all year. It's fun. It's interesting. I love it. We do stuff. People are there. People talk more. I'm off centre, and I know that I just realised that, and that's really bad of me. And I have the attention. I have like the attentiveness of a squirrel, but it is, and it's amazing. This year has been a year for me. You know, I've done more, I've seen more, I've been more places, I've gone to aquariums and museums, and I went away to Devon for the first time ever, and you know, this year has been a year where I have truly had the opportunity to have my eyes open, and it felt so good and so liberating and so freeing to do that. I mean, sure, recently I've had a couple of health problems. I'm not going to get into details with that. I'm going to wait until this series is over, and then I will shoot a video on that. But I've had health problems and stuff like that, and even that hasn't been enough to quell the fact that I can recognise that 2017 was a great year. And looking back, I can chuckle and feel good about this year. I could die tomorrow and be content because this year has changed so much. I know this is really weird kind of video because I know you guys. I know I said I was going deep, but I've gone deep this video. You know, and I have you guys, and some of you guys have watched one video of mine. Some of you guys are watching the entire series, and I love you, and I adore you for it. You know, I truly appreciate the fact that I don't put out the best quality of content. In fact, half the time it feels really lazy and cheap. But you guys still watch, and that means so much to me. So thank you. Truly, truly thank you. My social stuff will be all down below. If you want to get in touch, please do. I don't care if you're going to criticise and hate on everything I've done. I don't care if I've helped you in some way. Well, I do care. In fact, I care a hell of a lot. If I've helped you, let me know. If I've given you a chance to talk to people and be real, let me know. It's been a year, guys. It really has. So I'm going to go, because I'm hungry. I haven't eaten properly all day. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys. I love you all. Bye.